In this video, I am trying to explain to you how to fill return of income with the relevant schedules as an individual for the year of assessment 21-22. You may be an experienced taxpayer who has filed income tax returns for previous years of assessments. Otherwise, you may be a taxpayer filling the income tax return for the first time from the year of assessment 21-22. I request you to carefully read the guide to fill the return of income because such guide include all tax exemptions, eligible qualifying payments, tax reliefs and tax rates to which taxpayers are entitled to the year of assessment 21-22. You can fill the return manually or electronically. If you wish to file a manual return, you have to download relevant schedules from the IRD website, since the department has sent you only the return of income. I instruct you to start filling from the schedules. First of all, you have to select schedules relevant to your income sources and other requirements. Schedules which are integral for filling of the return are considered as mandatory schedules for you. If a part of a schedule is not required or not relevant to you, write not applicable across the part of that schedule. If any data filling cage in the return or schedule is not required to be filled, nothing should be written in words other than placing a hyphen. In the return, you will receive schedule. These schedules you have to download it from the department website because you have already received a return from the department. There are 10 schedules. Schedule 1 is for employment income. Schedule 2 is for business income. Schedule 3 is for investment income. Schedule 4 is for other income. Schedule 5 is for qualifying payment and expenditure relief. Schedule 6 is for withholding on final withholding payments. Schedule 7 advance income tax or withholding tax. Schedule 8 is for tax calculation. Schedule 9 is for tax credits and Schedule 10 for loss adjustment. You have to select the relevant schedules according to your sources. If you have an employment income, you have to select employment schedule. If you have business income, you have to select business income. Likewise, you have to select your income source, and after that you have to select your schedule according to that requirement. Now I am going to do an example. This example will help you to fill your return for the year of assessment 21-22. In this case, Miss Chandrika is a CFO company that her income for the year of assessment 2021-22 will be as follows. She has received employment income, that is from her primary employer. She has given consent to deduct APIT. Because of that, her employer deducted 360,000 as APIT. She has another employment, that is secondary employment. She has received that income from ABC company as director fee, that is rupees 520. She has not given consent to deduct APIT. Therefore, ABC company has not deducted APIT on that income. Then she has received business income, that is 400,000. This 400,000 is after deducting allowable expenses. In addition to that, she has received interest income from the fixed deposits, that is 3 million. For that 3 million, she has not given consent to deduct AIT. AIT means advance income tax. Further, she has received rent income, that is 1 million. Not only that, she has received another cash and non-cash benefits. She has incurred health expenditure, that is 375,000 and 600,000 for school fees for her children. These are expenditure reliefs. Further, she has purchased shares amounting to rupees 800,000 for the year of assessment 21-22. That is also for an expenditure relief. Further, she has donated rupees 200,000 worth of dental equipment to the general hospital. That is a qualifying payment. In addition to that, she has incurred 350,000 to establish a shop for a lady from Samurdhi beneficiary family. She has donated by cash 200,000 and by material 150 million. Altogether 350,000 she has donated to this Samurdhi lady. This payment is recommended and confirmed by the Samurdhi Development Department. Because of that, Ms. Chandrika is entitled to deduct this amount as a qualifying payment. In addition to that, Ms. Chandrika installed solar panel to her residential place, and that solar panel is connected to the national grid. If that is connected to the national grid, then she is entitled to deduct that amount as a qualifying payment up to 600,000. In this case, she has spent only 400,000. Therefore, Ms. Chandrika is entitled to deduct 400,000 as a deduction. That is also a qualifying payment. Furthermore, she spent 1 million on her business to upgrade cinema. She is in the film industry. She spent 1 million rupees to purchase equipment, and this expense is approved by the National Film Corporation of Sri Lanka. Finally, she has paid installments. For the first installment, she paid 200,000 on 14th of August 2021. Another 200,000 she paid on 12th November 2021. That is her second payment. Her third payment was made on 14th February 2022. That is 200,000. And fourth payment, that is 15th of May 2022. That is 200,000. Finally, she has made her final payment on 29th September 2022. That is 31,600. This is the calculation of her tax liability for the year of assessment. She has received employment income, she has received business income, and then investment income. Altogether, her assessable income is 16,020,000. And from this 16,020,000, that means from the assessable income, she is entitled to deduct reliefs. She is entitled to deduct expenditure relief, rent relief, solar panel relief, and personal relief. She is entitled to deduct expenditure relief up to 1.2 million because that is the ceiling. Up to 1.2 million she is entitled to deduct expenditure relief. In this case, she spent 1,775,000 as an expenditure, but she is entitled to deduct only 1.2 million. She is entitled to deduct rent relief, that is 25% from the total rental income. In this case, she has received 1 million as total rental income. Out of that 1 million total rental income, 25% will be a rent relief. That means 250,000. Since she has spent on solar panel, she is entitled to deduct 400,000. Up to 600,000 she can deduct, but in this case she has spent only 400,000. She can deduct that, and the personal relief, that is 3 million. In addition to that, she can deduct qualifying payments. She donated dental equipment to the general hospital, that is 200,000. That is a donation made to the government, therefore that is a qualifying payment. In addition to that donation, she donated to a Samurdhi family, Samurdhi female lady, to establish a shop. In cash 200,000 and cement 150,000. Altogether 350,000. She can deduct that 350,000 as a qualifying payment. Since this lady is in a film industry, she spent 1 million for the upgrading of her cinema. She purchased several equipment to upgrade her cinema. Therefore, 1 million will be a qualifying payment. After deducting these qualifying payments and reliefs from the assessable income, she will have taxable income of 9,620,000. Now we can apply tax rates to that taxable income. For the first 3 million, we can apply 6%. For the next 3 million, we have to apply 12%, that is 360,000. For the balance is 3,620,000. We can apply 18% income tax rate, that is 651,600. That is the payable tax altogether. Total payable tax for the year of assessment 2021-22 is 1,191,600. Let's see the tax credits available to her. She has given consent to deduct APIT to her employer. Therefore, employer has deducted 360,000. She is entitled to deduct that tax credit from the payable tax. In addition to that, she made installment payments from the first installment to fourth installment, 4 times of 200,000, that is 800,000, and final payment she has made, that is 31,600, altogether 881,600. So total credit available to her is 1,191,600. Her tax liability also 1,191,600, and total amount payable has been paid by Miss Chandrika. Therefore, now there is no payable tax, so no refund. She has made all payments on due dates. Now I am going to show you the way of filling of the return and the schedules. First of all, we have to fill the schedules, and the amounts available in that schedule we have to take to the return. This is the return for the year of assessment 21-22. You have to fill this return. First of all, you have to tick in the relevant cage. If you are a resident, you have to tick resident cage. If you are a non-resident, you have to put a tick on that non-resident cage. After that, you have to fill your TIN and your name and the address. These details will be in printed form. After that, you have to fill your relevant schedules. From that schedule, you have to take that amount to the return. This is part A of the schedule for income liable to tax, part B for the deduction from assessable income, part C for the calculation of tax payable, and part D for the exempt income. After filling these details, you have to fill part 2 of the return. Before filling the part 2, after filling the schedule, relevant schedule to you, you have to put a tick on the relevant cage. These schedules will be a mandatory schedule to you. After that, you have to fill section 2 of the return. Section 2 is a declaration part. This declaration part, there are part A and part B. Part A will be filled by an approved accountant or any other person. Part B for the declaration of the taxpayer. If you have taken advice or help from another person, then you have to put a tick on the yes cage. If you have filled the return by yourself, then you have to put a tick in the no cage. However, part B is compulsory. Even though you have prepared it by yourself or another person, part B is mandatory. You have to fill part B and you have to sign in that part B. After that, what you have to do? You have to submit the return to the Department of Inland Revenue on or before 30th November 2022 along with the relevant schedules and tax computation, accounts if relevant, or any other documents required to be submitted. Let's move to the next schedule. Next schedule means first schedule of this return, that is employment income. Since this lady has an employment income, she has to fill in employment income schedule. she has to put her TIN number in the first line of this schedule. After that, she has to fill the relevant details in this schedule. In the first column, there is a asterisk with A and asterisk with B. A is for the first primary employment, B is for the secondary employment. Since Miss Chandrika is working for the dad company and she considered that dad company as her primary employer, she has to write that company's details, name of the company, dad company, and the TIN of her employer, and the amount she received from this employment, that is 7.5 million. B is for the secondary employment. This lady is working in the ABC company as a secondary employment. She received 520,000 as a director fee. Therefore, she has to include that amount in the employment schedule. Altogether, she has received 8,020,000 as an employment income. After that, she has to take that amount to the cage of 111 because she does not have terminal benefits. Therefore, she has only one employment income, one primary employment and secondary employment. The amount is 8,020,000. She has to be taken that amount to the cage 10 of the return. Since she does not have an exempt amount, it is not required to be filled part 2. If she has an exempt amount under employment income, she have to fill that part here. Let's move to the next schedule, that is business income schedule, schedule 2. You have to fill the TIN number in the first line of the schedule. After that, you have to fill the business income in the relevant cages. There are 3 parts, part A, part B and part C. Part A for the sole proprietorship, part B for the partnership and part C for the beneficiary's income. In this case, Miss Chandrika has only one income, that is from sole proprietorship, that is from the film industry. Therefore, she has to mention that income in part A under 202 column. Her activity code of her business is 591410. You can find your relevant activity code from the department website. Income for the film industry is 4 million. You have to take that amount, total amount, to the cage 204. Since she is not a partner of the partnership, she is not required to fill the part B and part C. Finally, she has to take income from her film industry to the total cage, that is 250. This total income should be taken to cage 20 of the return. Since she does not has an exempt income, she has not required to fill it in part 2. Let's move to the next schedule because she has an investment income. Schedule 3 is relevant for the investment income. Miss Chandrika has investment income. Therefore, we have to fill schedule 3. We have mentioned Miss Chandrika's TIN number in the first line. After that, under 302 column, we have mentioned the type of the income, that is interest income and rent income. Activity code for the interest income is 000121 and the income she received from an interest is 3 million. We have to put that amount under column 303. And also she has received rent income. Activity code for the rent income is 681040 and the income she received is 1 million. We have mentioned that amount under 303 column. Total income she received as an investment income is 4 million. We have mentioned that income under 304 kg. She is not a partner of the partnership. Therefore, she is not required to mention it on business income under partnership, and not a beneficiary of a trust. Therefore, that is also not required to be filled. And she has to mention that total business income under cage 315. Finally, she has to take that total business income to cage 30 of the return. Since she has a rent income, she is entitled to deduct rent relief, that is 25% of the total rental income. She has received 1 million as total rental income. From that 1 million, she is entitled to deduct 25,000, that is 250,000. We have mentioned that relief under part 2 of the schedule, and that amount we have to be taken to cage 60 of the return. There are no exempt amounts, because of that not required to mention any amount under part 3 of the return. Now we can move to the next schedule, that is qualifying payment schedule. Since she hasn't any other income, it is not required to fill other income schedule. Now we are moving to the schedule 5. Schedule 5 is for qualifying payments and expenditure relief. We have mentioned her TIN number here. After that, we have to mention the donations made by her to the government, that is to the National Hospital, that is 200,000. Total amount is allowable as a deduction since this donation is to the government. Then she has donated to a Samurdhi family, female of a Samurdhi family, that is 350. That is also allowable to be deducted as a qualifying payment. She can deduct it from the assessable income, total amount. And the next qualifying payment is for the upgrade of cinema. She has spent 1 million rupees to purchase equipment to upgrade her cinema. Therefore, she is entitled to deduct that amount as a qualifying payment. Therefore, now she has donated 200,000 and 350,000. Then 1 million she spent to purchase expenditure. She has purchased equipment for the cinema to upgrade her cinema. Therefore, 1,550,000 will be qualifying payment. This qualifying payment can be deducted from the return. So, we have to take that amount into cage 100 of the return. After that, we can deduct expenditure relief. She has spent 375,000 for the health expenditure and health insurance. In addition to that, she has spent 600,000 for the education of her child. Therefore, that is also an expenditure relief. And in addition to that, she has purchased shares. Up to 1.2 million, she is entitled to deduct expenditure relief. In this case, she has spent 1,775,000 for this expenditure, but she is entitled to deduct only 1.2 million for a year of assessment as an expenditure relief. The balance part cannot be carried forward to the next year of assessment. And she has spent another 400,000 to purchase solar panel, which is fixed to her premises and which is linked with the electricity board. Therefore, she is entitled to deduct that amount as a solar relief. She is entitled to deduct 600,000 up to 600,000, but in this case she has spent only 400,000. Therefore, she can deduct that 400,000 as a solar panel relief. If any amount you cannot deduct in this year of assessment can be carried forward to the future year of assessment to be deducted in the future years of assessments. After including that amount in Schedule 5, you have to take this 400,000 to Schedule 5C. That is 400,000 under 513B cage. You have to include that amount in expenditure relief schedule, and expenditure relief 1.2 million and solar panel relief 400,000 together, altogether 1.6 million you can take to cage 70 of the return to be deducted from the assessable income for a year of assessment 21-22. In addition to that, there is a qualifying payment for an expenditure on film industry, that is 1 million. You can deduct that 1 million. You can deduct 1 million. 1 million means the amount you have incur to purchase this equipment. You can deduct that expenditure or 1/3 of the taxable income, whichever lower value from the assessable income. The balance can be carried forward to the next year. After that, you have to take the deductible amount to be deducted from the assessable income. Now we can move to the tax calculation schedule, because now we have deducted all qualifying payments and reliefs from the assessable income. Now we have calculated the taxable income of Ms. Chandrika. Therefore, we can apply relevant income tax rates to that taxable income. This is the schedule to be calculated tax payable amount, that is Schedule 8. Under that Schedule 8, we have to calculate payable tax by Ms. Chandrika. There are several parts A, B, C, D, E. Under E, we can mention the taxable income of Ms. Chandrika because she has only normal business income. Therefore, we can put that amount under cage 809. We refer the guide means we have to apply normal income tax rates, that is 6%, 12% or 18%. After applying the relevant rates, payable tax by Ms. Chandrika is 1,191,600. That is the payable tax by Ms. Chandrika. We have to take that payable tax to cage 180 of the return. Now we know the tax liability of Ms. Chandrika. Then what we have to do? We have to calculate the tax credit available to Ms. Chandrika. She has given consent to deduct APIT through her employer. Employer has deducted 360 as APIT. Therefore, she is entitled to deduct that amount, but she has to attach APIT T10 certificate with the schedule to be claimed that credit. In addition to that, she has made installment payments. First installment on 14th August 2021. Second installment was made on 13th November 2021. Third installment was made on 14th February 2022. And fourth installment was made on 15th May 2022. That total amount is 800,000. And she has made final payment on 29th September 2022, that is 31,600. Altogether, she has made total tax payments, that is 831,600 for the year of assessment 2021. She has to be taken that amount to cage 911 to cage 9, not to the return. She has to take this payment, total paid amount to cage 911 of Schedule 9 This is the amount. After that, this total amount, installment payments and APIT deductions, total amount should be taken to page 190 of the return. Finally, using these schedules, she has to fill her return. This is her return. She has to be taken all amounts from each schedule. We have mentioned the relevant schedule in front of that part. So total amounts should be taken from the schedule. After that, she can calculate her payable tax liability. In this case, her tax liability is 1,191,600. She has already paid total amount. Therefore, there are no refund claim or balance tax payable. Now we have calculated Miss Chandrika's tax liability, and now you know how to fill an income tax return with the schedule. Not only the income tax and schedule, what you have to do is you have to fill the assets and liabilities form. This is a statement of assets and liabilities. You have to fill all details mentioned here. I have not filled this assets and liabilities form because this is very easy for you to fill all the details up to 30th for the year of assessment, in this year of assessment, as at the date 31st March 2022. All assets, immovable properties, movable properties, all liabilities and all details required by the schedule should be filled by you. And this is also a part of the return. So you have to send this assets and liabilities form with your return to the Department of Inland Revenue. Now I think you can very easily fill your income tax return and schedule with the assets and liabilities statement. Okay, let's go to the next example, that is example 2. In this example, Miss Tilaka engages in a business of manufacturing toys. In addition to that, she is a partner of a partnership. That partnership's name is Fashion Line Enterprises. Her income and other details for the year of assessment 21-22 will be as follows. She has received business income of 15 million after deducting brought forward loss from the year of assessment 2021, that is 1 million. She has received interest income rupees 1 million. She has given consent to deduct AIT at the rate of 6%. Accordingly, deducted AIT is 600,000. She has incurred health expenses and insurance 240,000 and for a housing loan interest 100,000. She has paid quarterly installments for each quarter rupees 500,000 and balance payment of 12,700 was paid on 30th September 2022. These are the details of her partnership business. As a partner of a partnership share, she has received business income rupees 1,907,500 and interest income rupees 1,050,500 and capital gain rupees 7 million and tax credits 135,450, and she has made SA payments and 700,000 as capital gain tax. As a qualifying payment, she has donated 350 by the partnership. Her partnership share of qualifying payment is 350,000. This is the calculation of her business. Her business income from sole proprietorship is 15 million and from the partnership share 1,907,500. Interest income of her bank deposits, that is 1 million, and from the partnership as an interest her share is 1,050,000 and capital gain share of a partner is 7 million. Total assessable income is 25,957,500. From that assessable income, she can deduct expenditure relief plus personal relief, that is 340,000 and 3 million. and she can deduct qualifying payments. This qualifying payment is done by the partnership. Her share is 350, so she can deduct that 350,000 as qualifying payment when she is calculating her own tax liability. After deducting reliefs and qualifying payments from the assessable income, she will have 22,267,500 as a taxable income. From that taxable income, she can calculate her tax liability. In this amount, taxable income of 22 million includes capital gain, that is 7 million. We have to separately identify that 7 million because we have to apply 10% rate on that capital gain. Therefore, we have to apply 10% on that capital gain, that is 700,000. Balance taxable income will be taxed at the rate of 6%, 12% or 18%. That the total amount will be 2,208,150. Total tax payable by Miss Tilaka is 2,908,150, and she is entitled for the tax credits. She has given consent to deduct AIT. Therefore, deducted AIT is 60,000, that is from the interest, and the partnership paid taxes on the partnership income, and partnership allocated partners share. The allocated amount to Miss Tilaka is 135,450. She can deduct that amount when she is calculating her payable tax. And for the capital gain also, the partnership paid 2 million. Share of Miss Tilaka is 700,000. Miss Tilaka can deduct that 700,000 when she is deducting her income tax liability. And she has made installment payments and final payment, that is 2,012,700. Altogether, all credits available to her will be 2,908,150. There will be no tax payable or refund because this taxpayer, Miss Tilaka, paid total payable tax on time to the Department of Inland Revenue. Now we can see the relevant schedules and the return. This is the return filled by Miss Tilaka. In this return, she has mentioned her TIN number and her name and address will be printed by the department. And she has business income, she has an investment income, and she has reliefs for expenditure relief and personal relief, qualifying payments, gain on realization of investment assets will be there. Because of that, she has to prepare Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 5, Schedule 8 and Schedule 9. These schedules will be mandatory to Miss Tilaka. After that, she has to put tick in the relevant page of Part E. These schedules will be mandatory schedule to Miss Tilaka. In this case, Miss Tilaka obtained instructions from another person to fill the return. Therefore, she has to include all details of that person in Part A of Section 2. And she has to fill Part B as well because this is the declaration of the taxpayer. She has to fill Part B compulsory, that is, she has to fill Part B, that is mandatory, and she has to sign the return. And with the schedule, she has to submit return to the department on or before 30th November 2022. Let's move to the business income because she does not have an employment income. She has only the business income. This is the business income schedule, Schedule 2. In Part 1 of the schedule, there are three parts, Part A, Part B and Part C. She has to fill Part A. Since she is engaging in manufacturing of toys, this is her activity code 324090. 15 million is the income. She has to mention that income. And since she is a partner of a partnership, she has to incorporate that details in part B of the schedule under column 206, 205, 207 and 208. Finally, altogether, income from the sole proprietorship and income from the partnership, she has to take page 20 of the return. No exempt amounts are available, therefore it is not required to be filled part 2 of the schedule. Let's move to the next schedule, that is investment income schedule. Since she has an interest income from her own deposit, she has to mention it under part A, that is 1 million. As well, she has received her share from the partnership, that is interest and capital gain. Because of that, she has to mention that interest and capital gain portion under column 305, 306, 307 and 308. Finally, income from sole proprietorship and income from partnership should be aggregate and total amount should be taken to page 30 of the return. There are no exempt amounts and there are no reliefs available because there are no rent income in this example. Therefore, not required to fill part 2 and part 3 of the schedule. This is the qualifying payment schedule. Since the partnership has donated to the general hospital and 350,000 will be a portion of the share of Miss Tilaka. Miss Tilaka can deduct the 350,000 in calculating her taxable income under qualifying payment. We have to take that amount to page 100 of the return. After that, she is entitled to deduct expenditure relief. These are the expenditure relief she can deduct. That is health expenditure. She has spent 240,000 and as interest on housing loan, that is 100,000. Altogether 340,000. She can deduct 340,000 when she is calculating the taxable income as an expenditure relief. Solar panel reliefs are not available to Miss Tilaka and no expenditure on film industry. Therefore, she cannot deduct any expenditure under that part. She can deduct only expenditure relief, that is 340,000. I think you can remember she has given consent to deduct AIT on interest income. Therefore, we have to fill Schedule 7. This Schedule 7 is to fill the details relevant to withholding tax or advance income tax. Miss Tilaka should fill this Schedule 7. Under column 701, she has to put the source and the type. Since she has received this interest income, that is investment income, and it is interest, that is the type of this income, she has to mention withholding agent's TIN number here and withholding certificate and the amount she received as an interest, that is 1 million, the date of payment and the amount deducted by the withholding agent, that is 60,000. There are no carried forward advance payments. When she is receiving the interest, withholding agent has deducted 60,000. So, when she is calculating her payable tax, she can deduct this amount as a tax credit. She is not required to fill the balance part of this schedule. Then tax calculation. Tax calculation can be done through Schedule 8. When she is calculating her tax liable tax, first of all she has to mention her taxable income in page 801. After that, she has to apply relevant income tax rates for each income. She has received capital gain from her partnership. Available tax rate is 10%. So she can apply 10% on the capital gain she received from her partnership. Tax will be 700,000, and tax on balance taxable income will be 2,208,150,000. Total payable tax will be 2,208,150. Now we can move to the next schedule, that is tax credit schedule. This is schedule 9. In this schedule, we can enter details received from the partnership. In this case, Ms. Tilaka's share of partnership tax is 135,450, and she has given consent to deduct AIT. Deducted amount is 60,000. She can deduct that 60,000 as a tax credit. Then tax paid on gain on realization of investment assets from the partnership will be 700,000. That one also can be deducted when calculating the payable tax for the year of assessment 21-22. Finally, she can deduct payments made by her, that is installment payments. Altogether, all taxes payable by her and all AIT and payments made by the partnership are 2,908,150. So she has paid all taxes payable by that Ms. Tilaka. This is the tax paid by the partner and share of Ms. Tilaka, that is 135,450. She can deduct this 135,450 when she is calculating her payable tax for the year of assessment. These are the amounts she made as an installment payment, and the final payment she has made 2,12,700 as installment and final payments. She has made all payments. The last schedule available for this example is schedule 10. Since she has brought forward loss of 1 million, that is brought forward from the year of assessment 21-22, we have to mention that amount in schedule 10. There are no carried forward amount. She has already deducted 1 million from her when she is calculating her business income. Finally, she has to take all the amounts available in each schedule to the return, as I already explained. This is her return. So she has to take all amounts in schedule to calculate her payable tax or refund claim. In this case, she has paid all relevant taxes by her. Now there are no payable tax or no refund is available. Now I have explained you to fill an income tax return for the year of assessment 21-22. I think this example will help you to fill your income tax return for the year of assessment 21-22. Thank you very much.